There's a few rules on this channel. Nothing to do with any of you, really to do with what content I'm going to put on. Mad Commodore finally fucking got my name back. Oof, what a fucking... That's such a pain in the arse to sort that out, and it wasn't obvious at all. And you know, most of the so-called help on the internet that Google finds you on the first page was absolutely useless. It was actually really difficult to work out. I had to change my search from a simple change channel name, YouTube. I had to start talking about brand accounts and renaming brand accounts and swapping brand accounts and multiple. Anyway, it's done now. But the rule is, now that I've got an SD to IC that works really well, I've got about possibly 300 game reviews sitting on a hard drive. It takes like 3 minutes for my TV just to load up the directory. Yeah, and you thought the C64 file browser was slow, eh? Nothing changes, you just think it does. Don't believe the bullshit of the marketeers. So, I won't be playing games that I owned and played on a real C64 back as a teenager, and before I was a teenager actually, unless I'm playing them in the box room, which will be decorated like my old bedroom from the early 80s, because that's when I got a C64. Not the late 80s Miami Vice, you know, marble effect, blue wallpaper, and we won't go there, mate. Looked nice at the time with the furniture I had, except for the really crap swivel chair, the cheapest possible one you could get. But you know, the quarter circle sort of rounded edges to the grey and white, I think they were chipboard wood panels for the desk, which had a drawer on it, which was essential. You had to have a drawer on your desk. I don't have one now. I have a very like late 80s in vogue chrome and glass office desk, the kind of thing you'd have in a stock exchange if you was any good at making millions on the stock exchange. So anyway, I think I've digressed a bit, but you get the idea, because I'm trying to reactivate old memories. It's kind of an experiment. There's actually a lot of research into this area. Does it actually help stave off any kind of you know, Alzheimer's, where you start losing memories? Because the brain is a muscle. You can exercise your brain, you know. I mean, one thing any doctor will tell you is, like, if you're getting those signs, you should stop playing simple arcade games like PAC-MAN and play something with a more complex strategy element in there. And no, that doesn't mean play Nemesis, because you have to have a strategy for your weapon upgrades. No, sir. Maybe something like the Pawn, although I don't think the puzzles are very obvious, but it's nice graphic adventure. It has to be a strategy element. Rocket Ranger and Defender of the Crown, maybe, but I think it has to be more than that. So you might have to move up to something like It Came From the Desert on the Amiga 1000. Anyway, any other game, I'm quite happy to play in this shitty Solarium breakfast room, which I cannot finish, which is why I don't like being in here. And because I can't finish it, there's a bit of an issue, because there's like furniture for like another room that I can't finish, because I can't finish my kitchen. My double kitchen, it's impossible for one person to fit it, and one person in my parents' house is going to hospital at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. So that's a lot of interaction, and that doesn't even give you a full week of isolation before I can ask for any help. So I don't think I can install the kitchen myself with heavy 3-metre worktops. They weren't that expensive, £62 I think they were a metre. No, they were £62 each, and they're 3 metres. They're the same ones I had in my old house. They scratch very easily, but if you don't scratch them, they do actually look like polished black marble. Obviously not enough to fool you for more than like a few seconds, but it looks nice. It's better than the other one, which is about half the price. They're about 40 quid. But they're shorter actually, they're only 2 metres, but they got like a matte finish. You can tell it's like a simple, like, you know, sticky back plastic patterned bit of like vinyl that they've stuck on like chipboard. At least this one doesn't look like it, it looks like a plastic layer. I don't know how they do it. It's much thicker. You know, you're talking, but it's because it's like not the same thing. If you cut it, it will cut straight into it, like a hot knife through butter almost. Maybe a lukewarm knife. So that's why I can play Pac-Man 2018. Now, I was researching task set games. That is a fascinating rabbit hole of an investigation going after that company and their games and their history. It's not an easy journey. You won't be able to go on Wikipedia and just have it all splayed out for you. But anyway, Task Set did one game for the Oric, and then they discovered the C64, and they decided that they will, you know, combine their skills of existing people who knew the C64, machine code programming, and those that were from the Oric also got a C64 now, because you can only access the Oric's graphics in a serial fashion, something like that. So anyway, but they did do 2 other games. I knew what they were and I've forgotten what they were now. One of them is Yabba Dabba Doo, but they also did another game. And I don't think I bookmarked a page that's got the extra games on it, and I can't remember how I found that out now. He does mention it in the interview on the what's that thing called with Dan Wood? The Retro Hour, is it? Anyway, he does mention it, but I had already found that, and I think I'd then wanted to see if there's any interview. Anyway, according to Gamebase 64, this is programmed by a person with exactly the same name. And seeing as all the other ones were task set, and I think that's how I got Yabba Dabba Doo from Quicksilver, the publishers, on the screen in the search. This was the other one. To do these graphics, the ghosts with the high-res eyeballs, they're basically 2 high-res sprites. One is a colour and the other one is white, and the black is just the background, which is a see-through colour. Now what happens is, if you get 1, 2, 3, all 4 sprites on a line, to draw the Pac-Man you'd need more than 8 sprites. You'd need 1 more sprite, and that means something has to give, because there's only 8 sprites per scan line. So I mean, they could have alternated that, like the eyes blink. This is joystick port 1. So they've gone for joystick port 1. Is there no sound on it? Right, so it was space to start. So this is some sort of unfinished game, sadly. There's no sound on here. So Z and X are left and right. Alright. So it's full stop for down. And I think semicolons for up. There's no joystick control. I've tried both ports. So that he's used the full height of the screen by putting the score and the high score as a set of sprites in the top border. Right, so saying push start button. If you press fire on joystick port 1, that's just a space bar. 99.99% of the time, that's how. So I wonder why there's no sound. So the number of PAC-MAN left and the the cherries on the bottom there, they are actually again high-res sprites. So he's probably doing the cherries at the bottom, the two red actual cherries, and the brown stem at the top. Well, I suppose how many lives is it going to show maximum? It's very nice the way they've done it. They've overcome the fact that arcade monitors were always rotated 90 degrees. So what you think is the horizontal resolution, like 320, is actually the vertical resolution if you did it on an arcade cabinet on the C64. And you could have many sprites on the line, as many as you could fit horizontally on the arcade's monitor, but you could only have 8 in a column. So actually that's unless arcade motherboards just scan it the other way as well. So yeah, look, see, he lost his eyes there. That's what I was trying to show. So yeah, that's impressive. It's a shame that there's no sound. That would be really good if it's ever finished. But that could possibly be by the same Andy Walker who wrote games for Task Set from 2018. Who knows, sir?